Nightreign's been out for a little over 2 months now, and I've gotten a good handle on all of the bosses, handling them with each of the different Nightfarers. So, for the tier list freaks out there, I decided I would put all 8 into a little list and tell you my ranking of them. Is this an objective ranking? No, it's subjective. That's the only real way you can rank things. But I'll try to come up with some objective criticism and objective praise to explain why I'm putting bosses in the places that I am putting them. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. We're making videos all the time, and I like to do these little rant videos every now and again. If you subscribe and like this one, it lets me know that this is something you want to see more of. Join the Patreon if you want to support the channel. It's the best place to do it, and you can get into the Discord, play Nightreign with some other people who like the channel. You can check us out streaming on Twitch and probably hop into some games. I like to play with chat. And finally, check out Tulok the Cardbarian if you like Magic the Gathering, and Tulok the Barbarian if you like D&D videos. We've been making some new ones over on both places. Now, let's talk more rock. Let's get into it. Some of you might be surprised to see not Libra in last place, because boy, I sure do hate Libra, and I sure do complain about Libra a lot. But yeah, I think Maris is worse as the final boss of the night. As far as invasions go, I quite like Maris invading. But why don't I like Maris as a final boss? It really just comes down to arena size. Maris is a boss that looks a lot like the Elden Beast and plays a lot like the Elden Beast in that it just runs the goddamn hell away from you the whole time.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
This is a major test of cardio, not a major test of strength. When Maris invades you in the middle of your days and nights, it's all contained into a little bubble, so it can run like 50 feet away from you and make you run like 50 feet. It also has way less health, so the amount of times you need to hit it in between your little mini sprints is not so bad. But boy, when you put this sucker in the sands between that big open arena, it just runs. And by the time you catch up to it, it's started running again in another direction. Every once in a while, it will stop to do the super sleep move and you get a few hits off on it, but then it just starts running again. Now, Maris is a lot more fun when you're playing Iron Eye and you can just shoot it, or if you're playing Recluse and can spam some magic at it, though it has really high magic resistance, so hopefully you're spamming lightning. Spear, specifically Lightning Spear and Honed Bolt. All of the other lightning spells are up close in an area next to you, so again, it just flew away. Sorry. The fireball spells, oh boy, they just whiff this boss all the goddamn time, because, you know, you really spin that fist before you throw your very slow projectile. Oh, sorry. Maris moved to the next county. You gotta run after it. I'm so sorry. Every Nightfarer can pick up a bow or a ranged option. I mean, even using spells on Wilder isn't terrible, but if you don't get Lightning Spear or Honed Bolt, you're kind of just screwed. You know, the blue beams can hit it, but they don't do very much damage. And unless you're Recluse, you can't just spam those forever and not worry about your FP going away. And bows, yeah, none of the bows have any ammo requirements. So on something like Wilder, who's got that nice quality scaling, or Duchess, or Executor with their good dex stats, a bow is fine, but fine isn't very fun. And so you're kind of just left with running. You can also fight the jellyfish or the tentacles, but I don't think that that's a very good investment of your time. When I've tried to do that with like Raider, when I was doing a Raider run, it seemed like it was just like chipping away at the health. And those jellyfish explode and build up sleep really fast. They also clump together around you, so unless you have a big AoE hitbox, some of them are going to be popping in your back and putting you to sleep and doing big damage to you. That's not fun. The tentacles don't stagger, so you can't like hit them to make them stagger, so they'll kind of whip through you, get punished. It's really just better, even if you are a melee character, to try and do the cardio, and the cardio sucks.
He's a freak. He's a fast killer. He's a fast killer.
So Maris is not the hardest Nightfarer. Don't think that I'm ranking these in terms of like, who's the hardest Nightfarer, they're my bottom, because Maris is pretty easy, as long as you have something to shoot the nuke, or someone in the party can shoot the nuke that it drops. It's just boring. It's just not very fun. And given the choice between boring and frustrating or challenging and frustrating, I guess I would go with challenging and frustrating. Even though I still don't really like being frustrated. Yeah, Libra's number 2 on the bottom. Boy, what a stinker. Boy, what a little stinky boy this boy is. He's so stinky.
Stinky!
Already, he's a madness boss, and madness is a pretty maddening status effect to get hit with. Unlike bleed or frostbite, it just stuns you to wait for another hit after you lose like a quarter of your health or whatever. It also saps your FP, which is miserable.
Suck.
If you're playing a caster, they have better mind stats, so the madness builds up more slowly, but it's definitely more devastating to lose half your mana bar when, that's the only way you can attack. Especially if you're like recluse and you thought you were going to be able to like get the good suck to get your magic back, but then you can't cast a spell with which to suck, and for some reason no one in the party grabbed any elemental damage, so now you just sort of twiddle your thumbs. Oh no. I do like the concept of a debuff at the beginning of the fight for a buff later in the fight. I like his deals, even though I kind of talk crap about them being capitalism forced upon you in the game. I think they're fun in the final boss fight. I hate him as an invader because he always shows up on the ass end of the map and makes you run across the whole map, and if you don't do it, you're just really, really heavily penalized. I've talked about that enough in other videos. We don't have to talk about it here. We're talking about the final boss versions of each of these bosses, so let's focus on that. These hitboxes are stupid. They're stupid hitboxes. All of the like AoE shits that show up on the floor, there's rain coming down from the top, there's the Gatling gun he throws at you. Meanwhile, he's running around like a bucking bronco just smashing you on the ground, and every single one of these things builds up madness. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. There's really no place to breathe in this fight, which is also especially frustrating when you're playing spellcasters. I know everyone says that spells come out really fast, but no, they don't. They come out really slowly, and I can't tell you how many times I've been fighting Libra, started casting a spell, the floor is fine, and then as my hand is raised to cast my spell, the floor becomes very unfine, and I get hit with the big dumb AoE, and then I go mad, and then I get hit stunned by the madness, and then he comes over and he bonks me on the head. It sucks. It's not fun. Also, the counter to this guy is madness, and dog, there ain't no madness on this map. As far as madness goes, you've got Frenzy Flame Shotgun spell, Frenzy Flame Sniper spell, I guess Howl of Shabibi. We're being very generous when we say Howl of Shabibi works, and Unendurable Frenzy. We've got 4 spells. Now, Frenzy Flame Seal is guaranteed to give you the Frenzy Shotgun, but I have played so many runs of this game, and I think I have seen that seal 3 times total. It's not hanging out in the overworld a lot. Then you're fishing for 2 various madness weapons, Vike's War Spear or the Frenzy Fingerprint Shield. I would like to correct myself, because I said that the Frenzy Fingerprint Shield is a joke option for him, like, oh haha, what am I gonna do, shield crash him? Yeah. That's actually really fun. If you get the Frenzy Fingerprint Shield as like Raider or Wilder or Guardian, it's a really fun way to fight Libra. Just put it down and become a steamroller. I actually really, really like that. It's 1 purple weapon though, and it doesn't really drop all that often. Vike's War Spear also makes the fight just a joke. It becomes so easy. Dude doesn't start moving because you just burn him out before he gets to do anything. But that's if you get Vike's War Spear. It's almost like the Great Serpent Hunter for Libra, in that like Rykard without the Serpent Hunter. Boy, it's miserable. Rykard with the Serpent Hunter. Boy, it's boring. There's no fun middle between it. And yeah, I guess I know that you don't need madness to beat Libra. Obviously, most of the time I beat him, no one has any madness because it's not on the frickin' map, and the madness camps never drop it. But without madness, it's not very fun. The first time he does his little I'm in the shield and I've got my glyphs that you can run through thing, yeah, you can run through all the glyphs. You can stop him from getting the buff. The second time, he puts like 8 glyphs on the floor and then 5 in outer fucking space. Hope you had an Iron Eye who's really good at switching to free aim and hitting those targets. You did it? Oh no, he got his buff. And the buff isn't, crazy or anything. I mean, no crazier than the rest of the fight. I honestly barely notice a difference between souped up Libra and regular Libra. But yeah, kind of stinky. Also, there's the buff that like gives him more power. That's one of the deals you can choose. And sometimes one of your party members will just choose to like give him that buff. And that's worse, that he's just buffed the whole time. That stinks. You didn't choose that.
I didn't ask for that.
So yeah, Libra, not my favorite. Are there things I like about Libra? I like the voice acting. It's Rykard then. It's Rykard then. It's a boss fight with a great spear that's borderline necessary to beat it. Once you get the great spear, the fight isn't fun because it's too easy and the voice acting is great. Libra is Rykard. Whoops. And we know I don't like Rykard. Folore is next on here, and I want to be clear, I like all the designs of all of the bosses, and this is the first one that, like, I also like the fight. I like the Folore fight. I think it's really good. I kind of like all of these bosses except the bottom two, and I love all of their designs, so I guess also that for Libra and Meteor's. Not Meteor. Why did I call it Meteor? But yeah, I also like all of their designs. So throw that in the positives for Libra and Maris as well. Folgore's at the bottom of the bosses I like fighting, just because I kind of feel like his warm-up for his super shit that you're supposed to stun him out of doesn't totally give you enough time to handle it with the best lightning options. Like, lightning spear, quickly thrown, is kind of the only thing you can do with a spellcaster to do it. Honed bolt's first wind-up is a little too slow. Maybe if you got that perfect reaction time, but like, I don't think you should need perfect reaction time to hit the punish. It kind of stinks. Or if you're just drinking a flask as he goes for it, whoops, like you can start drinking your flask and then he starts rearing back. By the time you put the flask down, no time. There's no time to punish it. It obviously helps if you're using a weapon. Sorry, spellcasters, but it does help to just have a lightning weapon and be next to him. Using lightning spells in this fight kind of stinks. Even lightning spear, a lot of times I would get it fighting Folore, and then I'd throw it at him to stop him from doing the move, and it would go right over top of him because his body moved as I was throwing it. Like, we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Well, we're certainly not going to hit a horse inside the barn then. I like the big inky. It reminds me of Gundyr from Dark Souls 3. So the big inky stinky, I think the inky stinky is nice and fun. Good inky stinky. I like the big hitboxes that you can kind of cheat by rolling behind him and hitting him while he's trying to shockwave everyone else in the party. I will say I hate ramming speed, that bullshit he does where he just rams through the area and sends out this giant AoE that there's like a warning, oh hey, there's gonna be an AoE here, but the warning goes for like 10 miles because the attack covers like 10 miles. And yeah, dodging that one kind of stinky. The inky, not so stinky. The inky's pretty fun and funny. I like it. I like that he splatoons everywhere, but it's not like Moog where the splatooning everywhere is a problem if you stand in the splatoon. It's just pretty fun, you know, it's just spraying ink everywhere. Now I'm worried that there is actually like a debuff in the inky stinky that I didn't know about, and if there is, whoops. If there is, it's not intense enough that it does anything that I ever noticed it, so points to it there. I was really surprised Caliggo ended up as low as it did on this list, because when I first fought it, I thought it was like the coolest thing, no pun intended. It is still very, very cool. It's just cooler with certain Nightfarers, Iron Eye and Recluse. Wow, surprising that they get to have more fun with a boss. Who could have guessed? But with Iron Eye and Recluse, you get to stand back and you get to see Caliggo in all its majesty as it's doing all of its stuff. And with the other Nightfarers, you're kind of either trying to hit the wiggle worm head, and hitting the wiggle worm head is a frustrating experience, or you're doing taints and toes. And there's nothing wrong with doing taints and toes, it's just taints and toes isn't the most exciting thing to see in a boss fight. It's more fun to see a big epic frost dragon in all its glory than to just see like the nub of where its genitals would be and its toes. I don't know, just doesn't really do it for me. I'm sure it does it for some people in the audience, and hey, more power to you. I'm happy for you. For me though, I want to be fighting the wiggle worm, and the wiggle worm is not super fun to fight. There are some attacks where it does like its breath attack where you can clearly see this is my window to hit the wiggle worm. There's a lot of attacks though where wiggle worm's 50 feet up in the air and you just wait for it to come down, I guess, while there's a bunch of ice coming around. This is another boss that has you doing cardio a lot. At about a third of its health, it just disappears and puts an ice ceiling up that's gonna gonna fall. Like the ice boss from Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, that's right. They took inspiration from Kingdom Hearts again, because FromSoft always steals from the greatest video game series, Kingdom Hearts, and the greatest level in the greatest video game series, the Frozen World, everyone's favorite level of Kingdom Hearts 3. Don't look it up, it's true. But you just kind of run. You gotta like listen for the sound cues to figure out where it is, and that sucks. Running sucks. I don't like running. Why are we running so much? Let's all stop running. Let's just stand still or stand in relatively the same area. I guess if I was getting stabbed and slashed by 3 little twinks on the ground, I'd try to get out of there and blast them with my ice breath. But I'm not trying to put myself in a boss's headspace. I'm trying to put my mace in a boss's head face. I don't use maces a lot. They're kind of short. Great maces I like a lot, like Great Stars, but we don't have to talk about all that. The dash move with the ice storm that looks like Blizzaga from Jafar from Kingdom Hearts 1. Again, they stole just so much from Kingdom Hearts. Looks really cool. It's a really fun phase of the fight. I get that it's not super interactive, but sometimes an attack is so cool that I just gotta give it to him, and the dashing Blizzaga attack, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I can't say it's not cool. Overall, Caliggo, pretty goddamn good boss. And I like most of these bosses. I just like Caliggo a little less than the rest of them that are upcoming. I like that I'm checking my notes for this. Like I don't know my own opinion. But I went back and forth on some stuff. So, I want to make sure that there isn't actually a whole lot I have to say about Adele. It's just like a big old fucker, And sometimes you just gotta fight a big old fucker, and this is a big old fucker. And he's got a big old mouth, and he wants to crunch you with the big old mouth. It's called Gaping in the fight. That's pretty funny. In the night title, they call him Gaping. If you're gaping, hit the DMs. I fucking love its grab attack, and I think it's so funny that it's such a sick punish window, and I love that you can attack bosses as they're grabbing your allies, and I love how many morons say that it's bad to get grabbed because, it gets to heal and it gets a buff after it gets the grab. Dog, do you know how many times I have killed this boss because someone got grabbed? I would say like 30% of my wins come from Adele getting the grab and everyone else just wailing on it as it chomps and gobbles and vores our friend. Or sometimes I'm the one getting vored. It's funny. And sure, it heals or gets a buff or whatever, but I don't give a shit. It's so much more fun for someone to take the Hercules route and say, I'm gonna defeat this boss from the inside. Send me in, coach. Let me go. Let me get gobbled.
Eat me!
If I'm taking points off for the boss, phase 2 has a lot of, there's just hitboxes everywhere. And as I talked about with Libra, I don't love fighting a boss where there's just hitboxes everywhere. And everywhere you step, oh, sorry, that's a hitbox now. Sorry, that's a hitbox now. Sorry, he's got an AoE that goes over here. I understand why it's a part of the game design philosophy. All of these bosses were designed to fight 3 people instead of 1. Even more so than I think base Elden Ring, because personally I think base Elden Ring, all the bosses had scaled up aggression compared to previous Souls games so that you could use Spirit Ashes or you could fight with your friends. I think base Elden Ring is even meant to be a game that you summon people for. I've talked about it before. We don't have to talk about it again. But even more so in Nightreign, they're like, hey, core part of the game's DNA, there is supposed to be 3 people here. So a lot of the bosses have just AoEs that go off everywhere, all the time, forever, and Adele isn't immune to that in phase 2 especially. So points off for that. I guess if I have to come up with a reason why this isn't higher up on the list, it's that. And the other bosses that come up further in the list have that less than Adele. Maybe not at all, but less so. At number 3, we got Tricephilos. It is the first Night boss. It's the one that everyone's got to fight before they fight all of the other Night Lord boss things. I forget what the official term is, and I'm not looking it up. I just feel like this is such a good introduction to Nightreign's bosses in particular. In many ways, this is like the real Margit of this game, or the real Gundyr of this game, in that it is here to say, hey, you're gonna get flattened a few times and you gotta figure out what you're doing. I like dog that has sword in its mouth. That's just a classic Dark Souls thing. And then they stole Cerberus from Kingdom Hearts. Again, you know, just so much Kingdom Hearts in this game's DNA. We all see it, don't we? We all see the Kingdom Hearts. We all see that this game at Kingdom Hearts is light. You're fighting the darkness. You're fighting the Night Lord. Really? Are we sure he's not a Xehanort? Are we sure?
You sure?
But putting 3 Red Wolves of Radagon together, giving them a decently sized health bar so they don't just die, pretty great stuff. When it splits into 3, I think that's the perfect way to balance for the fact that there's, 3 people fighting it. I think that's really fun, and everyone gets to panic and run around as one individual dog just tries to destroy their life. But then it comes back together, and it's got bigger, badder moves when there's 3 of them, but it's so much easier when there's just one of them than when there's 3 of them, so it's fine. Apparently that's what the Holy is supposed to prevent. Apparently you hit it with the Holy weapon when it's trying to split, and it won't split. Didn't know that. I don't know that it's ever happened. This thing splits into 3 dogs every time I fight it, so I also kind of like that, Holy's not super critical to the fight, that the counter isn't super critical to the fight like it feels like it is for Libra or Folore. I like that. I like that there are counters to bosses in the game, but I also like when they're not super duper mandatory. They're not super duper mandatory here. You can kind of hit this with anything but fire and be fine. And fire is the most common damage type, but considering you get to use, everything else, I think it's okay. So yeah, Tricephilos, number 3. Was that intentional? No, but it just happened, and I'm happy it did. Up next is Nostra. I've seen some Nostra hate. People who don't like my Nasty boy. People who don't like Mothra piggyback riding on a Scorpion in Phase 2. Are you serious? Are you serious? So I guess I'll talk about what I love about Nostra, because I really don't understand what people don't like about Nostra. Maybe they say, oh, it sucks that you can't hit the butterfly if you're using a melee character. That's what the frickin' Scorpion is for. He's for this, which is apparently his name. But yeah, if you're playing a ranged character, it's easy to hit the Moonlight Butterfly, and you can just go bing, bing, bing up there while the melee characters deal with the Scorpion. But if you don't have anything to ding, ding, ding the moth, you can fight the Scorpion, and it's fine. All of that to say, the real reason I think this boss is so neat is because they give each other a piggyback ride. Or I guess the Scorpion gives the moth a piggyback ride. That's adorable. Also, it's Mothra, and Mothra rules. Moths are cool. I like bug bosses, little creatures. Yeah, we're straying a bit from the objectivity I said that I would try and hit, but no, I think the attacks are pretty reasonable. It seems like it's spraying lasers everywhere, but the lasers move pretty slow. They're not all clumped up next to each other like Libra's bullshit frenzy rain. Like, the lasers are flying across the sky, but they land like 6 feet away from each other. You're not totally fucked when it goes off. The Death Star laser is hilarious and will shred the shit out of you if you're being greedy, but don't be greedy. When you see a Death Star laser being built up, move. The charge attack is cool when, he's charging with the moth shooting lasers. Very similar to Caliggo's Blizzaga dive that I like so much. I like when bosses do some charging and then stop. I also like falling star beasts. So yeah, don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's neat. When there's a 3-dash, whoa, 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 and then they have to stop. Because if they don't stop, then they're Maris, and they just keep doing a wave dash. It is a wave dash. I guess they're also taking from melee. But if they just keep wave dashing and landing 100 feet away, that sucks. If they dash 3 times while shooting lasers at you and then stop, that's good. That's rad. That's cool. That's Nostra. Nostra's cool. I love a Nasty boy. Also, Nasty, as an invasion, used to hate it. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know why these bugs were stealing my levels. But then I found out when Nostra shows up, you just get to be level 15. It shows up to say, hey, I was worried you weren't going to hit level 15. Kill me. I'm so easy. You hit level 15. Congratulations. Love you. And I really feel like this bug loves me, and that's why it's number 2. It's a love bug. Number 1 is Hollister. I always just call him the Night Lord. I don't know if anyone's noticed that I just call him the Night Lord, but I don't know. Heolster. Heolostor. Doesn't roll off the tongue. And it loses points for that, but it's still number one because this guy's fucking rad. Are you kidding me? I guess it also loses points. Yeah, let's talk about all the ways it loses points first. Pretty easy. I think I've only lost to him one time. But he's neat. And I love him. I like that he has a Moonlight Dank sword. I like that there's variety in what kind of phase he's going into. In phase 2, is he going to do poison? Is he going to do frenzy? Is he going to do fire? You don't know. You can never know. And that's kind of exciting. The attacks seem fair. They're dodgeable. There is a little bit of like hitbox fuckland at the end, but even the hitbox fuckland in this fight is pretty reasonable. Weirdly, he's on here for one attack, the one where he goes up and the skybox changes. I'm trying to think of other like FromSoft bosses where the skybox changes, but dude like flies up, splits the sky in half.
I saw this boat in half.
It's really cool. He's really cool. He's really fun. I always have fun fighting him, and I always feel like it's a good give and take in the fight. It doesn't feel too easy, even though that is kind of my critique of it, is that for the last boss, he's a little too easy. Maybe when they make a souped up version of him, he'll be supreme bullshit, and I will take back everything I said here, and I'm worried that I will, because I think if this guy just got like a few tweaks, he could be a nightmare, and instead he's just a Night Lord. Just a lot to love in this fight. I like that he doesn't really run away from you. He runs into you. He wants to fight you. He doesn't want to fly away. He looks really cool. He seems pretty well balanced to fight 3 people at the same time because there are AoEs, but it's not AoE fuckland all the time. Mostly it's just he's so rad. He looks so rad and it feels very cool when you fight him and you beat him. So that's my ranking of all of the night bosses in Nightreign. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I bet a lot of you disagree. I mean, there's 8 points to disagree on. So yeah, I mean, statistically, probably all of you disagree. But let me know which ones you like. Let me know if there's something I missed about a boss that I don't like. I don't think Maris has a ton of dick riders out there, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We're going to try and do one of these for the Nightfarers next so that everyone can be mad at me for that. We're going to be doing some more Nightreign videos, obviously. I'm still really loving Nightreign, if you can't tell by the fact that I've been smiling the whole time I've made this video. Sometimes making videos makes me happy, and making Nightreign videos makes me very happy. Join the Patreon if you want to support me, help me keep making these Nightreign videos, help me keep paying my editors to make videos that you like. Some of those videos might be on Tulok the Barbarian. If they're about D&D, that's where they're going to be. And on Tulok the Cardbarian, if you like Magic the Gathering, that's where those will be. I stream on Twitch, Tulok the Barbarian, pretty easy to find me. You can come, you can hang out, you can maybe do a little run with us. All right, bye-bye.